Okay, so I'm really, really tired. Like I had no sleep last night, but I want to get this video out today, so I'm just gonna roll with it. So I was originally intending for this video to start off with a big spoiler warning, me saying something like, "Trust me, go read the manga." But instead, I'm gonna do a little spoiler-free section to try and convince you to read the manga because it's genuinely incredible, and I really think you're missing out if you haven't hopped on it yet. So, Kagurabachi is a battle shonen, and there's some people recently who scoff at that term. I mean, Chainsaw Man fans especially. You guys really don't like battle shonens for some reason. It's weird. You're a fan of a battle shonen. It's a shonen that has battles in it, and you're a fan of it, and you hate battle show. It's weird. But with the release of anime projects like Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, I think there's been a growing passion and love for it recently. I mean, especially with Sendai Colony. I saw a lot of love for battle shonen as a genre, and that made me feel warm inside. That made me feel fuzzy. I like at the end of the day, battle shonen as a genre isn't just a vassal for hype moments and aura. It's ideologies, ways of life, inspired by one's experience fighting with someone opposed to them. I genuinely think it's a beautiful medium to portray character writing, and Kagurabachi does that near flawlessly. You'll unironically almost never be disappointed with a character and their progression, and how their ideology develops as the story goes on. And I mean, it isn't just good, it's efficient. The level of character writing and development on display for a series that practically just breached over 100 chapters is actually inspiring. Oh, and the fight scenes are cool as hell. Like, I mean, if you like John Wick, you're gonna love this manga. But most importantly, I think the fact that I'm making this video should be proof enough to you that it's worth your time. Because I genuinely believe that this is the manga that will reach the heavens. God, that's so stupid. Okay, I hope I've convinced you to give it a read. But from now on, I'll be talking about all kinds of devastating spoilers. So if you haven't read this series up to chapter 115, leave? Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to discuss in this video, and there's not a lot of time in this video. So I want to get the stuff out of the way that I'm not too keen on. This doesn't mean that I don't like these things, it doesn't mean that I don't think they're good, but I want to get them out of the way so that I can glaze everything else. Right, so Samura, I need him to stay dead. This motherfucker has had too many fake out deaths, and I need him gone. Or if you're gonna bring him back, at least make it after a substantial period. Like, it's getting a bit egregious, I think. This guy does not stay dead. He needs to be gone for at least a long time. Alright. Also, I think the Kagurabachi power system is like, it's fine. Like, it isn't that good. I'm not gonna lie. But it's not that bad. And that seems like a pretty big criticism, considering how integral battles are to the genre. But I think the story and how the battles utilize this power system really makes it a non-issue. This leads me on to one of my favorite narrative elements of the series, funnily enough. There is an element of this series' power system, which, funnily enough, the exclusion of it in the current arc we are on makes me so excited for the rest of the series. Now, I truly love the Enchanted Blades. And sure, yes, I love the designs and their abilities. I love the sheer dominance one can have paneling wise when a new one is introduced or brought into the fray. But I genuinely adore the position these blades hold in the narrative. Not only are they constant reminders of the past, but the idea of an enchanted blade conforming its true realm around the user represents the ongoing theme of legacy and the next generation that's been present in the story from day one. I mean, seeing Hirohiko's unique perception on the concept of life, something that has been molded into him by his experience as a survivor of sexual assault and the probable grooming he's endured from Yura, affect the utility of the enchanted blade that he wields. I mean, it's just, and I don't want to overuse this term or anything, but it's simply peak shonen. Like, it's just incredible writing. But that's just one of the many reasons why I love the enchanted blades. I mean, I could be here all day just describing everything I love about these blades, which makes sense considering they're the focal point of the entire story. And to be honest, that's the exact reason why I love them so much. Kagurabachi's world is one that's power dynamics have been molded by these blades since the war. I mean, there's a reason why Chihiro's description of the enchanted blade deadlock is one of my favorite moments in the series, because that is power scaling. Now, power scaling alongside battle shonen are both terms that get a lot of bad rep, mainly because of their fans. But every good battle shonen includes power scaling in order to draw you further into the stakes of each battle. I think that Stan Lee quote talking about how whoever wins is who the writer wants to win gets horribly misconstrued, because the way you create an engaging narrative is by having the stakes be realistic within the context of the story. Chihiro and Sojo go high diff with each other due to both of their knowledge of their enchanted blades. Yeah, I can believe that. Samura one-tapping Chihiro after Chihiro goes through arguably one of the worst weeks of his life. Yeah, I can believe that. Power scaling is important to battle shonen, and having Chihiro have an entire monologue simply talking about the power dynamics between the Hishiku and the Kamanabe in terms of enchanted blade level fighters helps emphasize the sheer amount of dominance an enchanted blade has during a battle in this verse. Why make this video? All this stuff is incredible, but it's stuff that's pretty basic for a battle shonen. And for what it's worth, for its first three arcs, Kagurabachi has followed a pretty simple basic narrative structure. Arc is based on a specific blade or two. Chihiro fights a villain who has that blade. Chihiro trains to get stronger or plans around his weaknesses in order to defeat the person who has that blade. Chihiro wins and reclaims the blade. And it's only recently. Recently? Dear Lord, chapter 86 is already 8 months ago. Anyways, it was only recently in which I started to notice that status quo being shifted from. You know, I mean, Chihiro beat the bad guy. And the blade was now on the side of the good guys again. But then the arc kept going. And it kept going. And escalating. And then the main villain is actually about to complete his objective. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, surely the series is going to be longer than this. What's going on? And that was when, with two simple narrative choices, Takuro Hokuzono broke the status quo completely. Both power scaling wise and narratively speaking, ultimately showing how far this series was willing to go. I think the part reveal and the reveal of the Seitei War arc is the happiest I've been watching a narrative unfold. I mean, there's a reason why N10 being broken generated so much hype for the future of the story. It isn't just because that means we're going to get a cool swordsmith arc out of Chihiro's character. It's also breaking something that we thought to be integral to the story. From here on, we get to experience a story with either no N10 to shape it, or an N10 that's so different that we're viewing the story through a different lens. And that works so well, because it's not just us who's viewing the story through a different lens, it's Chihiro. From now on, we get to see a story that is shaped by a new N10, that was inherently shaped by the experiences of Part 1 so far. That's why revealing everything up until now with simply Part 1 is so perfect. Not only is it a promise that the story still has a long way to go, it really emphasizes the fact that Chihiro forging this new sword is one of the most important moments in the series so far, and is the culmination of everything leading up until this point. And Hokuzono didn't stop there. Not only is the story confirmed to be way longer than we thought it would be, not only is the story going in a direction we could only dream of an arc ago, but we're also getting a long extended flashback arc. Now I could sit here and talk about how incredible this arc has been so far, and everything I like about it. The main thing I want to focus on is this arc's potential. I genuinely think this arc is the breath of fresh air that this series needed. Versus Sojo, Rakuzaichi, and Swordbearer Assassination all happened within the same couple weeks. The story hasn't stopped moving, it's just been cranking the stakes higher and higher, which does make it an enjoyable read, don't get me wrong. But shifting the focus to something entirely new, an era where the balance of power isn't dictated by who can use an enchanted blade better, an era where sorcery is hidden to the outside world, an era before war, during war, and shortly after that war. I truly believe the potential is limitless.